For me, I knew when I was 8 years old what I wanted to do. Damon took a little bit longer, but a lot of the stuff that we did on In Living Color, me and Damon used to do just hanging out.
Without a mistrust, the Wayans are one of the most notorious families in Hollywood, led by actor and burlesque comedian Damon Wayans. Gaining massive popularity in the 1990s, the Wayans were once everyone's favorite, but also things turned sour, and Damon has been speaking about the fall of his family for some time now, seriously exposing the Hollywood elites. Time Wiping wants to move roughly over. They go get that rich and put you on television to represent the people, you know. Damon's other notorious family member, Marlon Wayans, has also called out Hollywood elites on more than one occasion, providing evidence that there are people out there who want to see the Wayans down and out. Marlon's take on being a black man in Hollywood is relatively bewitching. Hear for yourself. Being a minority in Hollywood is tough. You do not stay in Hollywood. Hollywood is a bank, and the decision makers do not get the content. Marlon explained how poorly Hollywood treats people, which presumably explains why his entire family got banned after exposing the elites. This is what he had to say. They do this, they wait for you to get hot, and then they go on you with a bunch of bad **king projects. I have been fortunate to understand storytelling, produce content, learn to write scripts. But first things first, who's the Wayans family, and how did they make a name for themselves? Where were you, mister? I was overly upset about you. Where were you? Where were you seen? I am talking to you, mister. When you talk about the comedy world, it's impossible not to also talk about the Wayans siblings. Together, this family of 10 has revolutionized the world of entertainment as we know it, both in front of and behind the cameras. Marlon Wayans knows just how talented his family is and has formerly told Nick Cannon on Power 106 FM how thankful he feels to be surrounded by and learn from such incredible artists. Suppose how lucky I am to grow up in my house with my legends, he gushed. I grew up in a house with legends, so I cannot help but follow in their steps, and yet blaze my own. While Marlon is novel about his family, he also is not hesitant to reveal some amusing family stories to the press. Scene used to always beat me up because he was older than me, Marlon formerly told the Hartford Courant. I am just a year and a half younger than him, but he beat me up. He is relentless. Kenan is so old that he once knocked me. And also there's Damon. He was always indigent, and he still is indigent. He also added, but there's some truth in there. But I wouldn't trade what I went through growing up for anything. I wouldn't be where I am without it. Damon is one of the 10 Wayans siblings who grew up in New York City with their mother Elvira, a partner and social worker, and their father Howell, a supermarket manager. However, we will be ready if the kidnapper strikes. All you've got to do is pick him up and drop him off. Marlon is best known for his numerous roles in movies and television shows. In 2004, he starred alongside his family, including Scene, in White Chicks. After first making it big with him on the WB sitcom The Wayans Bros, the actor has continued his uproarious career in recent times, appearing in films like Naked, 50 Shades of Black, Sextuplets, On the Rocks, and most recently, Respect, the biographical musical drama based on Aretha Franklin's career. And then there's the girl's attraction, Scene Wayans. Like his slightly younger family member Marlon, Scene has made a big name for himself in Hollywood and the comedy world. His film credits include Scary Movie 2, Dance Flick, and Little Man. Next over is Damon. Damon is also a comedian and actor. After his stint on Saturday Night Live, he worked on Fox's comedy sketch show In Living Color in the early 1990s. Ever since, he has continued to rack up prominent television roles both in front of and behind the camera. Folks might remember him for his work in Beverly Hills Cop and the sitcom My Wife and Kids. And we got Keenen Ivory Wayans. The second oldest of the Wayans siblings is a well-known comedian and actor. But Keenan is also a director and writer, and has worked on several projects behind the scenes with his siblings. In the late 1990s, he even had his talk show called The Keenan Ivory Wayans Show. Per his IMDb, his latest writing credit is on the television series The Last OG. He has been described as the trailblazing linchpin of a sprawling family dynasty of comedic impersonators. And there's also the eldest, Damon Wayans. The eldest of all the Wayans siblings is a film score musician. Unlike some of his siblings, Dwayne seems to enjoy working further behind the scenes, writing music for film soundtracks like Dance Flick and Little Man. He also has production, assistant credits for the television series In Living Color and My Wife and Kids, both projects his siblings worked on. Aside from the notorious Wayans brothers, there are also the Wayans sisters in this talented family: Kim, Elvira, Vani, Nadia, and Deidre. Like their brothers, many of the Wayans sisters enjoy careers in the entertainment business. Kim is an actress who appeared in the comedy show In Living Color, while Nadia appeared in I'm Gonna Get You Sucka. Meanwhile, Deidre and Elvira are prominent screenwriters. Hello, I am Blaine Edwards. And I am Antoine Mayweather. And welcome to Men on Film, the show that looks at movies from a manly point of view. Any comedy enthusiast who grew up in the 1990s will tell you that the Wayans sisters made In Living Color worth your time. While other actors on the show were handed set scripts, brothers Marlon and Sean Wayans were forced to write their material. I was the baby of the bunch, and nothing, me and Sean, and nothing was writing sketches for Keenan's little untalented sisters. Marlon formerly told GQ, I was the baby of the bunch, me and Sean, and we were writing sketches for Keenan's little untalented sisters. And that was Keenan talking. So we had to write our sketches, he continued. So Sean and I would stay up all night long because that's what the cast would do. Jim Carrey, Damon, Kim, they would stay there until 3 in the morning writing their characters. So me and Sean, we would stay until 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning because we were just trying to get 1 or 2 sketches in. In 2018, the actor posted the first sketch he ever wrote alongside the caption, This was one of the first sketches I ever wrote. I flashed back to reading it at the table on In Living Color and how everyone laughed. But mainly, I flashed back to the proud smile that said, I'm about to go where no man's ever gone before. Beam me up, Scotty. When talking to GQ, Marlon recalled writing his first In Living Color sketch with Sean. It was named Snuff and Rome and featured the duo as 2 convicts hilariously trying to dominate the other people in their holding cell. In a 2018 Instagram post, he shared a video of his alternate sketch, Mr. Ugly Man, and in the caption, he credited the show for making him a successful writer. In Living Color premiered on Fox in 1990 and lasted 5 seasons until 1994. In its first season, the series picked up a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Variety, Music, or Comedy Series. The show also served as a launching point for several A-listers, including Jamie Foxx, Jim Carrey, and Jennifer Lopez. It propelled Marlon and Sean's careers as major Hollywood forces, as they went on to write and star in several hit films, including Scary Movie, Scary Movie 2, and White Chicks. But times later, the formerly notorious show and cast, especially the Wayans sisters, faded from the scene after allegedly getting canceled by Hollywood. Several reasons have been floated to justify their exposure, but none is holding water. One similar reason has been said to be some of the derisions the sisters used back in the day. At the time, there were several indelible derisions and characters that percolated the mainstream and set up themselves on bills, t-shirts, and other similar wares. Looking back now, still, it's clear that some of the most notorious derisions from the sketch comedy are a bit problematic in the more woke 21st century and may have led to the sisters being shunned by Hollywood elites. In one of the foremost derisions featured on In Living Color, brothers Damon and Keenan go after the infamous duo Milli Vanilli, making fun of their ridiculous accents, hair, and frothy music videos. an uproariously funny skit in 1989. This skit suffers from the unfolding dark history of the musical group. After winning the Grammy for Best New Artist in 1989, Fab Morvan and Rob Pilatus were outed for lip-syncing and had their awards taken away. Pilatus would fall into a deep depression after the scandal unfolded and ultimately took his own life in 1998. Yet even today, someone nearly tried blaming all that on the Wayans. When In Living Color concluded, Keenan turned to directing Scary Movie and other successes. While Damon starred on television shows such as My Wife and Kids, Scene and Marlon became a successful film comedy duo, most known for starring in White Chicks and Little Man. But while there was a time when television and film audiences couldn't go a week without coming across a member of the Wayans family,